Hello and welcome to another MyTunes podcast right here at manxradio.com.
Marc Tyley, the nation's station, Manx Radio.
On MyTunes this week, I have a gentleman with me who's a musician, also a technician, also a teacher, and originally Seb Spacestrings Fosdal, but I want to give you the whole name many times. You came across here as a youngster initially before you moved over to the Isle of Man full time.
That's right, yeah. I think I first came when I was about 9 years old, and I came several times. My stepfather was into the racing, so we came over during TT a couple of times. Yeah, I've always loved the island. It's been an amazing place, and I've come back quite a few times, and my mother and brother have lived over here for about 30 years now, so...
But it wasn't until around 5 years ago that you moved over full-time.
That's correct, yes. Yeah, I moved over then, and it was great in 2019, beginning 2019.
And then suddenly, lockdown.
Yes, yeah, but we did amazingly well here.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the world, particularly with things like events and things, because I've worked in the events industry for a long time, and sending pictures of things happening in sort of July and August of 2020, and all my friends in the trade are going, how are you doing this? Do you know what I mean? There's people all together, and so we did really well here.
It was actually a remarkable summer with that air bridge to Guernsey as well. I mean, people coming and going from those two countries. Let's talk about your life, festival organising and doing loads of music work in the UK before you came here. You were based in Southend?
Well, I was born in Southend.
Southend.
But I moved around an awful lot as a child. In fact, I think I went to about 19 different schools, from starting school to finishing my A-levels, travelling all over the UK and different parts of the world, which was quite good. So,
your business base was where?
My main field was working. I started off playing music, played in lots of different bands and gigging fairly regularly, and then got into promoting, putting on gigs with different bands, and that led me to organising bigger gigs, and then that led me to organising festivals, and I started putting on festivals. I ended up doing that for about 15 years, some 3-day festivals, but mainly sort of one-day community-based events in Norwich.
Ah, dear Norfolk.
Yes, yeah. Far flatter place than here.
Yeah, very, very much so. And getting hold of those bands, when you're putting a festival together, were these sort of mixed festivals or were they themed?
They were mixed festivals, and as I say, most of them were community-based festivals, which was great because it got a lot of people involved and working with each other in different ways. So we had schools involved, we had local theatre groups involved, we had a cinema tent, we had lots of different music stages, and it was a really interesting period of time. And I worked at lots of other different festivals as well, taking my skills and experiences across to different events.
Well, your first choice of music, because we had a little look at this earlier, one of my all-time favourite festival bands who deliver a punch, Iron Maiden. So why have you gone for Iron Maiden?
Okay, so Iron Maiden was one of the first bands that really gripped me, and I've been a fan ever since. I think I've seen them about 17 times now. Their shows are fantastic, the amount of energy they have, and the community around them, the tribal aspect of all the fans and things it's just fantastic all the time. And I know they're touring at the moment, and unfortunately I haven't seen them on this tour, but yeah, great guys.
Just a quick question. Bruce Dickinson, not only a wonderful singer and a sword fighter, he's also a pilot. Have you ever been in his plane?
I haven't been in his plane.
Nor me. I was just going to say, I hope you have, because I haven't. Because they used to fly a certain amount of fans to the gigs, didn't they? At one time?
Did, yeah. They did a special thing with the cinema when they got Ed Force One going up and going, because it was an amazing concept being able to fit an entire stage set and production into a plane with the crew and the band, and it allowed them to fly to lots of different places and play shows that they wouldn't be able to do logistically. So it was an incredible experience.
Great stuff. What's the first track then?
So the first track is Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden.
He brought us pain and misery.
first came across my guest on Facebook, actually, I thought maybe he was one of the supporting cast of an amazing band called Gong on their album Camembert Electrique, because when you hear a name like Seb Spacestrings Fosdal, you're automatically thinking of some very, very interesting music from a certain era. Seb, where did the space strings come from?
Okay, so playing music, I play a number of different instruments. I played bass in bands for a long time, lots of different styles, and I'm very, very comfortable playing bass. But I also play guitar as well, and I also play with synthesizers and things like that, groove boxes and production and stuff like this. And my approach is sometimes different towards playing guitar and other things, in that it's a way of generating a noise, a sound, a particular sonic state, and not necessarily about the musical structure of it, but more about the sonic structure of it. So the whole sound design field and all of that sort of sonic stuff really, really interests me, and it's a real passion of mine.
I think the first time I heard something that feels like where you're going was in Chiswick Town Hall. It was one of the early gigs of Hawkwind.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they had that sort of very ethereal mix going on behind more rhythmic stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a fascinating blend. And as a youngster, I'd never heard anything like it.
Yeah, it's incredible what you can do with synthesizers. And even though rock music isn't traditional in terms of sort of like, classical music and things like this, it's still mainly notes and rhythms. Do you know what I mean? But you go into sort of like getting into synthesis and sort of like developing sonic sounds which are outside of those boundaries.
So who called you Space Strings? Is it something you chose for yourself?
I suppose so. But it's sort of like, it reflects what I sort of do with the guitar and bits and pieces like that. So I like pushing the boundaries of seeing what you can do, making different noises and getting different sounds out of it.
Now, next band. First for my tunes, we have got Dissolution, the Osric Tentacles. Tell me more about this lot.
Okay, so the Osric Tentacles are a well-travelled English psychedelic band. They were formed at Stonehenge in, I think, 1983, 1984. And it's a mix of guitars and synthesizers and drums, and it's been an ongoing thing. It's a very fluid band with lots of different members over the years, and it's lots and lots of improvisation, which is one of the things I really enjoy when I'm playing music. I like not necessarily having something which has a prescribed structure, but it has a sort of like a space that it can work within, and the potential for those happy accidents to happen, for something different to happen, every time you play.
Let's hear it then. This from the Osric Tentacles. I'm being very careful how I say that, but I've got it out right. Dissolution. Yesterday on My Tunes, with my guest, Seb Spacestrings Fosdal, we talked about improvisation. Well, we touched on it. When I've had certain younger guests, I often mention Frank Zappa, and they haven't heard enough of him to understand what I was getting at. I'm going to risk this with Seb. You know what I used to love about the late Frank Zappa was when I used to go and see him, his solos never the same twice. He'd launch from somewhere solid, he'd go off somewhere, he'd come back to somewhere solid. Is that the sort of journey that you appreciate?
Very much, definitely. There's a wonderful quote with Frank Zappa where he talks about being a channel for improvisation. You know, he knows what he can do, he knows what he's got to work with, but he doesn't know what he's going to actually produce at that moment. It's that throwing yourself off the edge of the cliff and just seeing what happens to, and what comes out, and tying it, as you say, tying it in with sort of like certain points, so you know that you can lock it into certain points, but then being able to explore new ideas, and I think it's great. So it's a good way to sort of like unleash your creativity.
It's quite rooted in a jazz philosophy, really, isn't it?
It is,
when you know the main tune, you'll hear the main tune first off, bang, and then it'll go any way you like.
Yeah, it is, and it's working around sort of like certain themes, certain feels, certain frequencies. It's great.
When you're working as a sound engineer, how well do you have to know their music to get the best out of them when you're creating the sound?
Well, in a live situation, which is predominantly where I work, it's all about bringing out the best of the band, really, and not interfering too much, but really getting the best out of them first of all, and then just doing nice little things around the edges that sort of like make it sound good. But having been an active musician for a long time, I know what I need to hear on stage when I'm playing in order to play my best. So I always take a lot of time making sure that the musicians on stage can hear perfectly, and they can respond to each other, and they can play better with each other. Because if you can hear each other and play together well, it's a much better performance. So that's important.
And that's something we've touched on in this series with other people who are responsible for creating sound on stage, is that the person who's giving the band the right sound is so important.
Oh, yeah.
So that they can hear everything, and we, the audience, can hear it clearly as well. But it's a separate job, isn't it?
It is a separate job, but it's also a chance to be a part of the band, a creative part of the band, particularly if you get into adding particular effects and bits and pieces like this, maybe some vocal delays and sort of stuff like this, and depending on the style of music, you can incorporate sort of certain bits and pieces. It's nice to add a little bit of dub echo every now and again on someone's voice and see how they respond to it.
Yeah, catch them out, maybe. Local band. We're going to have a local band now. Tell me all about these guys.
Okay, so Dusty Plankton, the fifth best band in Onken, as they call themselves. I've recently started playing with the Dusty guys, and it's great. It's really good, and it appeals to my sense of improvisation because it is very much improvised around themes. So it was really good. I had my first gig with them at the Full Moon Festival, and it was really good. One rehearsal, did the gig. It was absolutely great, and I had a great time doing it.
So what are we going to hear from these
So
guys?
we're gonna hear a song called Deadly Penguin, which came from their last album. There is some new stuff coming very soon, later this year. So stay tuned.
telling me that I'm wrong. That you're wrong. I don't know why I've been on this road for so long. So tell me why. So tell me why. Didn't we even try? Walking on the road to this illusion, not my illusion, but yours. Crossed the path of a deadly penguin in exploded suits, but yours. Oh, it all comes down tonight. Oh, it all comes down inside. Oh, it all falls down, all boils down tonight. But it's alright, it's alright. So tell me why. So tell me why. So tell me why. We didn't try. We didn't even try. So tell me why. So tell me why. We didn't even try. Didn't we even try? So tell me why. So tell me why. We didn't even try. We didn't even try to fly. Alright.
Yesterday on My Tunes, we mentioned my guest's involvement with Dusty Plankton, Seb Spacestrings Fosdal, who was at the Full Moon Festival. You may have seen him. And there'll be more gigs to come with these guys.
This, we've got one at the Rovers Return on July 22nd, and then we've got some things planned for later in the year.
Excellent. How's the balance of work going? Because obviously you've got to keep a lot moving. You've got to survive. You've got to eat. You've got to put food on the table. So you're playing, but you're doing production work, and you're also teaching.
I am that, yes. I'm teaching on the Higher National Diploma Music Performance and Production course up at UCM with some amazing other tutors, lots of people who are active musicians and involved in the industry. And we've got an incredible range of students who are all very, very keen and eager, and some great talent coming forward, which is an amazing thing about this island. There is an incredible wealth of musical talent on this island. It's absolutely fantastic. Proportionately to what I've seen across, it's incredible.
You think it punches above its weight?
Very definitely.
Yeah.
But I think there's a culture here that supports it from a very early age. You've got fantastic opportunities with the musical service, and also things like Soundcheck and the Rock Project, which give young people a chance to try this out and express themselves in contemporary music. So there's a really good support network for that.
I think one of the things a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate is behind any of these creative arts, whether it be film or sound or even radio and television, there are so many more roles and jobs to be filled than what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, working as you have behind the scenes in festivals and organising, it's a massive industry, isn't it?
It is. There's a huge number of roles, and there's great opportunities to be creative in a technical role as well as being the actual star of the show, so to speak. The production values now on shows are incredible.
I was absolutely blown away by the lighting production for some of the more recent Villa Marina events and also the Bushy stage. The variety available to the producers of these shows now is better than ever.
Oh yeah, and technological advances are coming on stronger and stronger. I mean, you look on the web now, the MGM Sphere in Las Vegas has just recently done its initial show, and now this is a huge building which is a concert venue, and the entire outside of it is LED screen, and it's worth looking at. It's an absolutely amazing thing.
MGM Sphere.
Yep, in Las Vegas.
Wow. I popped into Las Vegas very briefly with some friends. I remember some of it. It wasn't there then. I must go back.
Yeah, it's just been released. I met the guy who was involved in helping to design it a few years ago back at a trade show in London, and it sounded fantastic then. Seeing it now, it's just incredible.
The MGM Sphere. Right. If you're like me, you've just heard about that for the first time. I'm going to be noodling and Googling very soon.
Yeah.
You've got a gig coming up on Saturday.
I have.
With a dear friend of ours, Annie Pierce.
Yes.
And she's now this is where the space strings are going to work.
Oh, yes, very
I can
definitely.
see this
Yes.
floating across, because Annie is a handpan player.
Yes.
And I know she's got some treatment for it as well, but you're going to be supplying synth and bass and all sorts of bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing some synth and some beats, but I'm also going to be playing some acoustic guitar with some effects. Again, it appeals to my improvisational thing, because obviously the handpan is always set in one particular key. So it allows us to sort of like play around with different colours and different feels within a sort of a particular field. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Saturday afternoon, part of the wonderful Port Erin Beach Day in the afternoon. I think is it at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, 2 o'clock on Saturday 15th.
On the stage outside the pub.
Yes.
So you've got the pub, you've got the beach, you've got the stage. What more do you want?
It's going to be great.
It's gonna be
Sound system.
And the sound system. Perfect. Let's have your final track, Seb. It's been a great week. Where are we going to finish?
Okay, so we're going to finish with a local talent, Davey Knowles, and I was fortunate enough to meet Davey last year and mix his show in Port St Mary. Absolutely fantastic. Such a wonderful guy. Yeah, this is his track, Hell to Pay.
Just before we play it, can I just pass on a couple of messages from people who told me straight away, now I was away, I was off island. Everyone said that sound for those Port St Mary concerts was some of the best they've ever heard.
Right, that's
And
very
that's
nice to
from
hear.
musicians, fellow musicians who said, that guy got it right.
Well, this is the thing. I'm a musician first. The sound engineering is an extension of that, and giving other musicians that opportunity to play somewhere nice, it just sets the moment.
It's not an easy room.
But it was good.
It worked really well.
It was great, but great talent, great people on stage.
Seb Spacestrings Fosdal. See him live Saturday afternoon with Annie Pierce. And you can listen back to all of this, and with extra bits of music, obviously, because some of the tracks were a bit long, on the podcast, which will be coming out later today. Seb, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark.
I think it's clear what happened here. We know that we're not going back now. Maybe in another time and place, this fall from grace could be replaced and figured out. But if you think I'm still the right boy that you once knew, well, think again, 'cause here I am, making plans, standing up to you. There'll be hell to pay, darling, with a broken heart that burns like fire. There'll be hell to pay, darling, with a broken heart that burns like fire. I want you to understand the bitter man that I am is down to you, down to you. So should I speak my mind or sit and suffer like a fool, like a fool? Stop and think I'm on the brink of falling. feeling and how far God only knows. Down I go, dark and cold, to the very heart of your soul. There'll be hell and pain, darling, with a broken heart that burns like fire. There'll be hell and pain, darling, with a broken heart that burns like fire. There'll be hell and pain, darling, and if I had my way, you know there'd be more. Don't you turn away, smiling, like I know you have so many times before. There'll be hell and pain, darling, with a broken heart that burns like fire. There'll be hell and pain, darling, with a broken heart that burns like fire.
Many thanks indeed to my wonderful guest, Seb Spacestrings Fosdal. Great chat, amazing music. Make sure you catch him live or go and say hi to him next time he's at the back of the hall mixing a superb sound. I'm Marc Tyley. Be sure to join me whenever you can for the morning show on Manx Radio, 9:30 to 12. And keep coming back here to manxradio.com for more podcasts. They are appearing every day.